with the advent of AI, the next phase of what human life and economy and everything will be based on will be emotional intelligence,
Right.
not our intellectual intelligence. And the reason behind that is, um, even Einstein had an IQ of like 170. Okay. AI today has an IQ of about 1,000.
Right.
So there is no way to compete with AI on an intellectual level. The only thing we will be using from now on to create our value is higher emotional intelligence.
Hi, and welcome to Helping People Perform, the podcast that gives you fascinating insights into those people whose chosen vocation is to help others perform at their best. From consultants to teachers, sports coaches to financial advisors, all of my guests share a passion for getting the most out of individuals, teams, and organisations. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Helping People Perform. Delighted to be joined today, all the way from Canada. We have AI innovator, thought leader, and keynote speaker, and also founder at TetraNoodle Technologies, which is a fantastic title. I've got to delve into that at some point. But welcome to the show today. We have Manuj Aggarwal. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, looking forward to a fantastic conversation, because I know from the research that I've done up to now, not only are you doing some amazing things helping people perform right now, but the first thing I always want to do is delve into people's backstory, and yours was one that captivated me from the off. So tell us a bit about what got you to where you are today.
Yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey. If people can tell from my accent, I grew up in India, and I grew up in a very small town. And in small towns back then in India, it was a very much a developing country. Not a lot of opportunities for higher education or employment. So my career started working in a factory at age 15 for $2 a day.
Wow.
And I wanted to change my life. I wanted to sort of see what else is possible for me. And one day, I was flipping through some business magazines during lunch hour at the same factory, and a few stories about these tycoons who made it big, starting from nothing, that inspired me. And I thought to myself, like, these people look like me. There is no difference between them and me, other than they have made it, and I'm sitting here. But obviously, that inspiration didn't convert into any action, because I didn't know what to do about it.
Right.
But it's sort of stuck in my mind that, okay, something is possible in life. And then I realized, as I was thinking about it, that you can be anybody you want, but you need to be able to provide a lot of value to the world first. You need to create your own value first. And so you need to learn that skill. And in my case, it turned out to be computers and technology and software.
Yep.
And because when I started learning that stuff, I just like fell in love with it. It was like a lot of fun. Just doing it. I used to be, I used to write software for like 24 hours straight, and I didn't even realize that, I haven't even eaten yet,
Right.
or slept yet, or whatever. So it was a lot of fun. And then apart from the fun, when I entered the professional sphere, I realized the impact it can have, because
Right.
I can create a software on my computer, and then I can copy it on like 10,000 other computers, and it can help 10,000 people or even more. So I was like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. Like I can have fun, I can make money, and I can make impact on other people.
Right.
And so that became my journey. And as you become passionate about what you do, you always try to be on the cutting edge. You want to learn the new stuff. So as new technologies come out, I always try to dive into them. So artificial intelligence being one of them.
Yeah.
So I've had a career in technology for about 30 years, and the last 15 or so years have been more focused on AI, blockchain, like, the latest stuff. But AI has been really, really instrumental in my life for many other various reasons, personal reasons as well. And the way that we use AI is also, you talked about like high performance and things of that nature. So uh and you can see, like, the Buddha behind me. What happened in my life was, like, I dove really deep into the neuroscience, the human psychology side of things, and how this world sort of is structured around our belief systems and those type of things. And then I started marrying the concept from neuroscience and AI, and that is a very, very interesting conversation we can dive into if you want. But that's the story, that's the background on how I got here.
Brilliant. And I mean, I've been scribbling away on the side here because there's some amazing notes there, partly from just that element of starting from where you were, but having that inspiration. And I think one of the things you hit on there was that inspiration's fine and it's great, but if you don't take any action, then you're never going to get there. You're never going to move. And what I really like about your journey is that what you seem to have done is you haven't gone, that's, I want to be the multimillionaire. That's the dream. I'm going to push everything towards that. I'm getting the story of you focused on the thing that spoke to you and fit naturally with you. And then you found a way that not only, what I note down here, have fun, make money, help other people. That's a holy trinity right there, isn't it?
I think that's the key. A lot of people misunderstand success is less about the number of dollars in your account. It's more about, are you liking what you're doing? Is your life full of experiences that you can share with others, and just like when you're like 60, 70, 80 years old, can you look back on your life and say, oh, I had so much fun. I had like all these interesting stories, all these interesting people I met, versus, oh, I have like, so many millions of dollars in my bank, right? Like, it doesn't. But the thing is, once you find that interest, that passion in your life, the byproduct is money as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting thing because the stories that I've heard from various people I've spoken to on the podcast and outside, it's never been about following the passion deliberately in order to make money out of it, but because it's so passionate, you found a way to incorporate it into your life. And then marrying that up with, because I'm passionate about it, that passion goes to other people, that then helps them, and the value that you create starts to produce this sort of virtuous cycle of everybody getting some benefit out of it. So that's some wonderful stuff. Question then, have you had any big failures along the way?
Oh yeah, like every day. Well, the biggest failures, I will say, have been in my personal life. Like, my relationship has suffered a great deal. My relationship with my parents, with my ex-spouse, a few other people, because as you go through this journey, you yourself are like, for me personally, it was like finding myself. Because one aspect of your mind is like, oh, I know everything.
Right.
And another aspect of the mind is like, oh, why am I not able to connect with other people? Like, what's going on? So those are the kind of experiences I was having where, professionally, you get success, but then personally, you think you are a failure inside. And so when I started looking into that deeply, that's where, I started meditating, I started learning about neuroscience and those type of things. And that's when it became clear to me how human relationships evolve, how we communicate with other people, how can we empathize with other people, how can we listen to them, and then use these skills to build a better relationship with the people that you interact with. And also realize that the true wealth in life is actually people. It's actually the relationship that you build, because everything that you want is basically coming from those people, those relationships.
Right.
Monetarily, non-monetarily, emotionally, spiritually, all of that stuff, right? So the idea is to stop chasing anything else, but chase good people and build meaningful relationships with them.
Right. No, that's a wonderfully wise words to live by, and something for all of us to strive to. And it's not an easy thing, is it? But it's one that if you can keep that in mind, then you can really help to strive towards that.
Yeah.
So maybe let's move on to, who do you help right now? So there's a lot of message coming through about relationships, about helping other people, about building value for people.
Right.
So actually, the first question I've got is TetraNoodle. I love a good name, and TetraNoodle's a great name. Where did that come from?
So it's a funny story. I'm a tech guy. I don't have a lot of background in marketing or sales. So one day, I was like thinking about, okay, what name should I use? And I was sitting with a few friends in a restaurant. It's a restaurant chain here in Vancouver. It's called Noodle Box. Okay,
Right.
so we used to go there all the time. And I was like sitting there. I was like, "Hey guys, like, what do you think about Noodle Box as the name for a software company?" They're like, I thought they will laugh at me. They're like, "You guys, you are crazy." But they said, "You know what? It has a ring. Maybe change it a little bit."
Yeah.
So this noodle place was basically Asian noodles, right? So Asian noodles have these takeout boxes which are like
Oh yeah. Tetra
rectangular.
Packs.
Yeah. So I just said, okay, that's the four corners. So that'll be Tetra, and then I use the noodle. So that's where the name came from.
Oh, that's brilliant! I love that. There's always a story behind a lot of these business
Yeah,
names, and it's great to delve into them. So tell me
yeah.
about what you do now, then, in
Yeah.
terms of who you help and how you help them.
You see, the idea is that most business owners, innovators, risk takers, they want to grow fast. They want to, attain whatever they are looking for: higher revenue, better clients, more loyal clients, all of that stuff. And the world is become very complex and noisy now, and most people are just not able to understand why they cannot grow, why they cannot achieve their goals. And as you said, the idea is to help them build a community around them, but not everybody is able to do that. But what if there was an AI technology that is able to do that on your behalf? Right? So this works at an individual level, at a small business level, and at Fortune 500 level, because we just did we work with large corporations as well, and we help them understand the importance of AI. Because in large corporations, what you want is, in general, the with the advent of AI, the next phase of what human life and economy and everything will be based on will be emotional intelligence,
Right.
not our intellectual intelligence. And the reason behind that is, um, even Einstein had an IQ of like 170. Okay, AI today has an IQ of about 1,000.
Right.
So there is no way to compete with AI on an intellectual level. The only thing we will be using from now on to create our value is higher emotional intelligence.
Right.
So we use AI to create higher emotional intelligence in people.
Wonderful.
Right? And it has huge business implications. Of course, people will say, okay, how does that help? But then it's directly tied to productivity, profits, bottom line, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the underlying mechanism is this. We tell people, okay, this is how it works. But if people don't want to understand it, that's fine, because they get the results regardless.
Right. No, that's wonderful. It goes back to a friend of mine who's actually the first guest on this pod, and I mention him far too often, but a guy called Ferris Aranki, and his business is based around the success equation, and he says that success is IQ times EQ times FQ, with FQ being the focus quotient, so how you can focus on the right things. And I think as AI comes through, that IQ is, partly it's coming from the business, but it's going to be supported and augmented by the AI in a huge way. Absolutely. And as if you can get the right people making the right decisions on where the focus should be, then it only really leaves that EQ, emotional quotient piece, really, isn't it? That,
Exactly.
that's
Right.
the crux of where we go in these days. No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, so you work with all sorts of different size companies and help
Yeah.
them. Well, does that look like a software that they incorporate into their day
That's
to day business,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
how does that work?
So first of all, right now AI is obviously all over the news, but people who are looking to implement AI, they are the innovators and risk takers because
Mm,
it's a little bit early in the game.
yeah,
So we focus on people who can see the trends a little bit early from the rest of the population, and then we implement our custom solutions. So we have products on AI that we implement, or if one of our existing products does not fit their needs, then we sit down and say, okay, what exactly will you like to build, what is your vision,
right.
and then we build it for them. We hire the right engineers, we do the right research, even file the patents if it's protected intellectual property. So yeah, we have done a lot of great work with large corporations, many startups. Many startups that we helped have gone public. They are
Right.
worth like tens of millions of dollars now. So yeah, it's been quite a fun ride.
Oh, amazing. And I know we had a quick chat before this call as well around, launching an AI community and a mastermind piece. Tell us a little bit more about that and what that's all about.
Yeah. So, see, coming from the background that I come from, I don't focus a lot on theory because I've learned everything on the job, right?
Right.
So we focus on, okay, tell me what to do today so that I can get the results today.
Right.
Forget about the theory and all that. So when I look at a landscape of AI, so many people are teaching, okay, oh, these are 200 prompts for Chat GPT. This is how you write an article. How does that really make a difference in their life? Nobody says that,
Right.
right? So what we do is we say, okay, you want results, we are going to build a suite of tools, and that you can deploy like today, right now, and it'll be easy to use because nobody likes complications. Nobody wants to spend hours and hours learning new things, but you can do these things very, very quickly, and get the results like today. So we build a community of people, of innovators who want to use AI right now in their business and grow it exponentially.
Yeah.
And so that's the community all about. It's called AI Merge. So it will be full of all these like practical solutions backed by our decades of research and expertise. And of course, there's tons of other benefits of meeting other innovators and collaborating with them across the world. We have a huge sort of huge number of like really, really amazing people like yourself from all over the world. So imagine being in a room working on similar problems, utilizing these cutting edge tools and sort of breaking new ground,
Yeah.
disrupting massive industries like healthcare, education, real estate. It's so exciting. AI is actually said to add about $10 trillion to the world economy by 2030.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so that's more than 10% of the world economy today. And so it's a chance to make generational wealth right now, as AI makes more and more impact.
Oh, that's wonderful, and I'm sure we'll put some links to that so that people can have a look into AI Merge and join that community. But it reminds me a little bit of I've always had this approach when it comes to learning, where everything's out there. You can go off and you can learn everything, and you can go off and just sit there and learn everything, and then you go back to apply something in your role, and you go, I've learned so much, I don't know which thing to apply. And
Yeah,
so I've always been passionate about how do you put the learning in the hands of people at the moment that they need to use it in a way
I
that helps
think
them use it. Yeah.
the paradigm has shifted upwards down now because of AI.
Right.
No more learning needed. No
Mm,
more learning needed because why do we need to learn is because we want to remember the facts and the strategies and all of that. But now, as I said, AI is at 1,000 IQ level.
right.
It has a PhD in marketing, PhD in psychology, PhD in sales, PhD in physics, chemistry, astronomy, whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
It's available to you 24/7, never takes a day off. You don't need to learn, but you need to do now. You
Right.
need to feel. You need to feel what the world needs, and you need to do it, and learn from that experience. And that's what we are doing, right? Inverting the whole process of learning versus doing
Yeah.
and getting the results.
Oh, that's amazing stuff. I know a lot of people can be fearful of this, particularly of this sort of paradigm shifting changes as they come through. You only have to go back and say, when the calculator came in, we were all going to lose our accounting jobs. And when word processing came in, there's going to be no more people who are going out and doing any copywriting or anything like that. It doesn't change that. I mean, it impacts it in a big way, but it just changes how you approach those things. And I'm interested to see when it comes to the future trends. You talked about emotional intelligence. What's the biggest thing that people should potentially be getting on board with now to help them with the future as it is supported with AI?
The biggest thing is learn how to communicate. If you cannot communicate, the world is going to be very, very difficult to navigate moving forward, because even with the AI, you need to communicate.
Right.
You watch any science fiction movies, there's a very smart robot sitting there, but it's not going to do anything until you talk to it and then give clear instructions and all of that, right?
Yeah.
And same goes with humans. Like as you will as humans, we will become like conduits between the world around us, meaning talking to other humans and saying, okay, what do you need, and then interfacing with AI to say, okay, get this done,
Right. Yeah.
But if you're not able to communicate, you will be just like on an island.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing is focus on creativity. The world today is very siloed. Like we become an expert in one thing and we go very, very, very deep in that, right? So if you are an accounting professional, you know everything about accounting. If you are a legal professional, you know everything about legal. But the world tomorrow will be multifaceted. So you want to start adopting paradigms where you say, okay, let's look at legal and technology, mix them together and see what comes out. Let's look at healthcare and psychology, and let's put it together and see what comes out, right? You can, because like you can have so many different types of therapies these days, like art therapy, and like people need to start expanding their horizons and say, okay, how can I take two fields of study, pick the best components of it, put them together for a more innovative solution.
Yeah. No, brilliant. I do some work in that field myself as well, helping people connect, what they're doing with maybe some inspiration from completely different areas, and
exactly.
Hopefully that's going to help people move forward with this stuff in order to fully improve and progress as we move into this brave new world. So, I'm interested. You've probably touched on a couple of key things there that you probably do for yourself. So I'm always keen to know, how do you keep yourself performing? What are the things that you do, the practices, the people? How is it that you get yourself at the best?
See, the first thing is, meditation. Self-care is very important. So meditation is really important in my opinion. Everybody I work with, I tell them, hey, meditate. And generally they say, I don't have time. Then I say, okay, meditate 5 times more.
Yeah.
So then just like starting your day right. One of my mentors, he's a very prominent like Olympic champion, and he helps many other like world-class athletes. He says, if you cannot control your day, you cannot control your life. So when you start your day, don't like right away start looking at your phone. So I start my day with meditation, yoga, then walk in nature, and like that's about like 1 hour before I actually start my day with anything else.
Right.
I think that is like one really, really powerful thing that if people start to implement in their life, like their whole life changes within few months. And then obviously there are more things that that we work with our private client. We give them like all these like tools which have explosive growth in their life and business.
Yeah. No, you reminded me, and I think you're probably referring to this in that if you can't afford the time to meditate for 20 minutes, you need to be doing it for an hour. So,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
it's fascinating coming through. You've someone who's focused on AI and technology, and we're talking about communication, we're talking about connection and relationships with people, we're talking about meditating and mindfulness and taking that time for yourself. It's too easy, I think, for people to go, the technology's there, we've got to be in the tech, we've got to be deep into the technical side of everything that's there. And I'm hearing from you, that will take care of itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
You've got to be focused on and performing at your best so that you can bring the best connections, that best EQ, emotional side into the business that you're in order to perform. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you had the chance then, maybe right now, maybe going into the future, and working with an individual or a team or an organization that you could help perform, who would you want that to be?
See, for us, as I said, our first priority is those innovators who recognize, who have the urge to change things in their life and business, who want to adopt these technologies. But if you want my dream name, who I want to work with, like that'll be Elon Musk for sure. Like, so I admire um, his way of working, his thought processes, which I can't even like understand how he thinks. So
Yeah.
I will love to just have 1 hour with him to understand how he thinks, because it's very inspirational.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. And I think it probably comes in because I like to reverse that question as well in terms of not more about who you can help, but who could help you. So I'm hearing if you had the chance to sit down with Elon for a while and chat to him, then you could help with your performance. Is there anybody else out there as well that you would, or any type of people that you'd like? If I can spend time with these sorts of people, then that would really help me be at my best.
Again, my focus right now is to find those innovators who want to ride this AI wave. I'll give you a few examples. Jeff Bezos, he saw the potential of e-commerce before anybody else. So in 1997, he launched Amazon, and it took him 15 years to become the richest person on the planet, and Amazon, the biggest retailer on the planet, right? Elon Musk started a company, Tesla, in like 2004, 2005. He saw the potential of electric vehicles, and today Tesla is bigger than GM, Ford, and Chrysler combined, right?
Yeah.
So people who can see these trends earlier on, they benefit the most. So those are the people we are looking for. Of course, if they are ready to go, if they want to like disrupt industries, those are the people we want to talk to.
Wonderful. And I think that's so important in terms of the other aspect I'm always saying, maybe you disagree on this, is that you don't have to be wanting to be the Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezos of these things. You can aspire to, your targets don't have to be skywards and the richest person in the world or the very best at everything, and everybody cowers beneath you. Just being a better version of yourself and performing at your best is, you get to ride that wave and learn from other great people amongst it as well, don't you? So,
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wonderful. So where do people find out more, Manuj? How do they connect with this community, and how do they connect with you if they need to reach out?
Yeah, we are in the middle of launching the website. I think I can't even remember the website. So I think aimerge.pro. Right. We are going to be launching, but in the meantime, if somebody is interested, just message me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to give all the details. We are ready for business. It's just because things are moving so fast, we are a little bit ahead, and the infrastructure needed to build the website, all of that, it's coming. Yep. But if somebody wants to get started, we are already making impact in so many businesses already. Connect with me on LinkedIn or go visit my website. Google my name. I'm very, very easy to find online. So I'm all over the internet. Just search for my name and connect with me. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And as always, I do encourage my audience to do that and reach out and connect. It's amazing the conversations that you can have and the value that that can bring. And it's not just about a one-way value piece as well. You know, I'm sure you get value from connecting with other people and seeing where their story is and how they can connect you with others as well. So, you know, do reach out. So, Manuj, an absolute privilege talking with you today, and I really wish you the best of luck. I think there's huge value, as you've said, not only in AI and the technology that can bring, but those of you, people like yourself who can help shape where that goes and how people connect with it. And I think that feeling of connection with yourself, with the technology, with your business, and getting the value that way has come through really strongly with me today. So thank you so much for being on the show today, Manuj.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you liked what you heard, then please give the podcast a rate, review, and share. I'm Paul Teasdale, and from sausage making to banking, oil and gas to Formula One, I help people perform. If you'd like to find out more and have a conversation, contact me via helpingpeopleperform.com.